on, game players? How are you guys doing? I want to welcome you guys to Listener Feedback, episode number 25. And in this episode, we have a full cast. We actually got some new names this week. So, this episode will be starring One Subset Tekken, who has returned again for another week. We also have a newcomer to the feedback section, Timothy Poole. Shout out to you, brother. First time I have seen your name. So welcome, my brother. Welcome. We also have returning yet again, Free Fly, Ferret Fly, brother Fly. Shout out to you, brother. And we also have, once again, Crimson Phoenix. That's right. Shout out to you too, brother, as well as another newcomer to the listener feedback. We have Dawn X. Shout out to you and welcome. And let me say it again. Welcome. And then we have the OG also returning for another week, Cody Clark. Now let me tell y'all something, man. Thank y'all, brothers, because last week, hey, let me tell you something. I was scrambling, trying to figure out what I was going to do. But thankfully, Nintendo had their indie showcase, so it really helped me out, because I said, I don't know what to do, because nobody wrote in. But good grief, you guys absolutely made up for last week this week. I mean, we got a full house, so I don't need to go over any gaming news, but it is one piece of news that I just want to cover very, very quickly before we get into the first email for the week, which comes to us from One Subset Tekken. But today marks the first day that Xbox, it's not even called live anymore, but the Xbox service is allowing people to play online for free with free online games. So that is huge. Microsoft, they came through. They said that they were going to drop that paywall for the free-to-play games, and today officially marks the first day of that. And it didn't take long. I believe Phil Spencer had said sometime in January this was their plan to do this. Here it is, April, so that was pretty fast. So I got to definitely shout out Xbox. They continue to have the great news rolling, and they continue to keep on getting that positive press, which is awesome. And more importantly than the positive press, they're doing right by their gamers on their platform. So absolutely shout out to them. They're doing a marvelous job. I thought this was going to be something that got announced at E3. I figured that would have been a very, very good time to do it because, oh yeah, by the way, you know how they do the, oh yeah, one more thing. Today, the paywall drops. Nah, they did it early. So definitely shout out to them for doing that. And I'm repeating myself. So let's go ahead, man, and let's get into the first email. Oh man, let me do this shameless plug. If you want to be a part of the next listener feedback, which will be recorded next Wednesday, do it two different ways. Either call in at 443-216-9934 and let your voice be heard, or email the show, and the email address is the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. Now, let's go ahead and get into this first email, which is once again coming to us from One Subset Tekken, who writes in and says, now the title of his email is The Next Versus Series. He says, hello, Kiaun. I hope all is well with you. I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing just fine. He says, I'd like for you to take a look at the link below, and could Capcom be banking on this series to make up for the last Marvel vs. Capcom and build a new versus series with Power Rangers? Even though it's really starting out as DLC for Street Fighter V. I think personally it looks promising, but I have my reservations. For me, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was the best and it can't be topped. I'm going to tell you right there, I had Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and in one of the most rare occasions, I might add, one subset Tekken, I actually played that game online. And let me tell you, I didn't do too well. I didn't fare great, brother. I mean, I did win a few matches. I didn't completely stink up the place, but overall, I was getting killed. But I got a couple of wins. That game was a ton of fun. I agree. But let me continue with your email. He says, I still play it today. I wish it could have continued with DLC. That would have actually been really dope if they had done that. I don't know why they didn't do that, but I guess DLC back then, yes, it was a thing, but I don't know if it was as big of an emphasis as it is today. But yeah, because we know Capcom, they're nickel and dime you for everything. But yeah, they even nickeled. Think about this one, subset Tekken. Do you remember, speaking of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, how they had two different editions of the game come out. They had one that had a certain roster, and then they had the updates, but yet they sold the game separately with the new characters in it, so you could get those characters, man. It was a crazy time. Hopefully I'm remembering the right one. I believe that was Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but let me continue with your email here, brother. He says, with that, I'm done. Wash your face, hands, and butt. And please wear a mask. That's right, brother. Let them know. One subset, tell them continue to wear the doggone mask, brother. Man, I love that doggone, what do you call it? Your tag, brother. I can't even think of what you call it, man. Yeah, brother. Anyway, what you say every week here, you know what I'm talking about, brother. Now, this is the thing. I saw the Power Rangers, the DLC, and I'm gonna tell you, man, I haven't watched, Power Rangers in quite some time, my good brother. I remember coming home from school looking at Let's Go Power Rangers. Oh, man, it was a phenomenon back then, brother. It was a great time, but I don't know Power Rangers, yes, I would have to believe it's still pretty popular today. I have no idea what the young kids are into today, the tweens or whatever the case may be, but I don't know if Power Rangers is still at that all-time high of popularity. I understand this is a cool gesture for people in our age range and even younger, because Power Rangers did go on for many, many years after I stopped watching it, but I just don't know if it has a strong enough name attached to it. Yes, it is really cool to think about it and remember those days. It's morphin' time. Y'all know what it was about if you watched the show. It was a pretty darn good show. But I just don't know if it would have that same impact. And I'm sure you're not saying it would, but I don't think it would have the same impact as a Marvel versus Capcom. And once again, like I said, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, brother, saying that that's what you are saying. I just don't know if the brand, the Power Rangers name, holds enough weight. But once again, look, I guess the DLC numbers will decide where they might go with the game in the future. If those DLC numbers are looking very, very promising, possibly reaching more downloads than they were expecting, then they might say we might have something here. We might have to look a little deeper into it. But if the numbers don't match up, then I think it'll just be a nice little bonus, kind of like Microsoft got the deal with the Hot Wheels for Forza. It's something retro, something for the older guys, like myself that used to play with the Hot Wheels back in the day. It's kind of just like a little look back at your childhood, and it really sells, man. Nostalgia is heck of a drug. Shout out to Mooch for that. I think I might have messed up his quote, but yeah. But that's how I feel about it, man. I don't think that it'll be something too big, but we'll have to wait and see, man. Who knows? Like I said, those numbers look good. They just may say, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's just go all in And let's see what we can do with this one. But one sub said, Tekken, did you write? And again, my brother, this is the only one you wrote this week? Oh, no, you got another one. Okay, I thought so, brother. All right. Well, one sub said we're going to get back to you in a minute, but thank you, brother, for this email. I really appreciate it. And if you are a fan of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, brother, they just, who knows, it might happen, man. They had that video game out a couple of years ago. It didn't do too well, but you know, who knows? We will have to wait and see, my good brother. But up next, we have, like I said, a newcomer. I don't recognize this name, but his name is Timothy Poole. Shout out to you. You made a splash this week, brother. Now, the title of his email is called Xbox Generation. He says, greetings and welcome, Kiaun and Analog Circle fellow listeners to the Xbox Generation. In all my years of gaming, I've never seen a change this big in the gaming landscape. Microsoft have finally begun to make the moves needed to not only secure their place in the console race, but maybe even control the market altogether. Interesting. He says, with constant rumors of Sega and Konami IP purchases, it has me thinking, if Xbox can now snag either Sega or Capcom, oh, hey, brother, you shooting for the whole stars and quasars with that one, brother. He says, any big Japanese publisher, what if anything could Sony do to compete? Is this the end of Sony's crown? Man, let me tell you something, Timothy Poole. Shout out to you for writing in, brother. Like I said, it's my first time seeing you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for taking the time out to write in. It's truly appreciated from my heart bone. You know, but getting into your email here, brother. Man, I'm going to tell you, nah, man, Sony's crown is too heavy, brother. It's heavy. And I don't mean that like how they say heavy is the crown that the king wears. Well, man, y'all know that saying, man. I'm not saying it from that perception, but what I'm saying is Sony is just heavy. They're a heavyweight in the gaming space. I would say that, man, good grief. Now, this is definitely just hypothetical because I don't think Capcom, I would much rather Microsoft pick up Capcom than Sega. Now, Sega got some joints, man. I mean, they got Jet Grind Radio, one of my favorites. They got Golden Axe. They got Sonic. Sonic ain't been really active lately, but they got him. He's on the roster. You know, they got, I mean, quite a few Altered Beasts. I mean, golly, Sega has one heck of a catalog. But Capcom and that RE engine, God, dog, man, you want to talk about, if you're comparing the two, I will take Capcom any day of the week. But since this is hypothetical, let's say they get both of them. Let's say, Timothy, they actually snag Sega and Capcom. I'm just sweetening the pot. Let's say both. I still got, dog, that would be tough. That would be a heck of a mountain to have to climb, brother. I can't even lie. But what I would say to that is Sony is just so proven. I mean, these guys continue to raise the bar with their games, man. They are so hard to deal with when it comes to that. Single player games right now, brother. Man, Sony has that lock and key. Oh, yeah, the brother also brought up Konami. God, dog. Now, I'm sure, Timothy, you may just choose one. But even if they got all three, that would, like I said, that would be a very, very hard climb for Sony to be able to defeat that. Or even stay on the same level, because it's just way too much talent under one roof. And then you're talking about you double that with Bethesda. Good gosh. Oh, man. At that point, brother, this might just be a monopoly. They might consider this a doggone monopoly, Timothy. If they got those many, good gosh, that would be tough. That would be hard. But I still believe, oh man, whoa, and then they go day and date and game pack. You know what? Nope. Nah. That would be too much. That would be way too much for Sony to overcome. You're talking about Capcom games going in there day and date, or Sega games going in there day and date, along with Bethesda games going in there day and date, along with some of the older studios from Xbox under the Microsoft umbrella. Good gosh, man. Lord have mercy. Yeah, that would just be a little too much, brother. At that point in time, I can't lie to you, Timothy. I'll be like, this is just unfair. This is just completely one-sided. So if that was to ever happen, and they got all three, oh man, nah. I don't even think the mighty Sony would be able to, get over that barrage. But if they were to pick up one of the three, whether that be Konami is cool. Their back catalog is, they got some hits. They definitely got some bangers in there. Metal Gear Solid, Castlevania, Contra, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But it hasn't been relevant lately. I mean, all it takes is a good game to make a game relevant again. So Konami, I don't think they would be in trouble. Sega, you talking about Yakuza as well as the other games that I named. That could be a bit of a threat, but I think Capcom, out of the three of those, Capcom would be major. But I still believe, in short, and I went all the way around the mulberry bush. Pardon me, Timothy. I'm sorry, brother. But I would still say that overall, I think Sony could still combat Michael. Oh, man. As I'm saying that and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, good grief. I don't know, Timothy. That's a tall order, brother. Good gosh. What they say, they up to 23 studios right now. If they get another huge acquisition like one of these three, oh, yeah, that would be tough. But as long as Sony can continue to make the great games, brother, as long as they continue to make those AAA bangers that really move the gaming culture forward, like The Last of Us Part 2 and God of War were my two favorite games of last generation, hands down. Nothing came even remotely close to those. And I enjoyed Ori. Man, I'm a huge advocate for any Ori game. Both of the games were marvelous. I didn't finish the second one. Finished the first one, though. Marvelous games, though. Some of the best platformers I've ever played. Cuphead. I didn't beat it, Timothy, but it was a great game. Hard as heck. I doubt if I'll ever beat that. I don't know why I'm looking forward to the DLC just to get killed all over again. But it was still a great game, man. Along with the other franchises that Microsoft has. I mean, man. None of those games even came close. And they were some favorites of mine. Gears 5 was great, but they just didn't have that same polish as the Sony games do. So until that happens, and I really believe that Microsoft has a real good chance of that actually being the case eventually with all of the talent that those guys have over there and they've been acquiring. I really believe it's just a matter of time until they get that one game that really, really puts them ahead of the pack. I don't know what game that's going to be, Timothy. I don't know what the game looks like yet, but I do really think that they'll eventually get there. But until they do, Sony is the king, man. I mean, they are king. Nobody comes close. I don't think any other publisher has the number of Game of the Year awards that they do. They're just unstoppable. So until Microsoft can get to that level and compete with them on that AAA level, like bar for bar, line for line, then Sony isn't going to have, you always keep an eye on your competition. Don't get too cocky. We saw what Sony did by allowing I ain't going to go into the news on this episode, but I guess in short, Timothy, I think Sony would be just fine, brother. I think they'll be okay. They just got, as long as they continue to make the great games, then they won't have too much to worry about. Like I say, keep your eye on your competition at all times, but until Microsoft starts to get to that level and threatening, then yeah, I think Sony can survive and be okay. But good gosh, that would be a ton to really overcome, Timothy. Timothy, I want to thank you again, man, for this wonderful email. Really, really appreciated it, brother. Please write in again if you get a chance to. I would love to hear from you again next week, my good brother. And thank you one more again. Now, moving on into the next email. We got one subset Tekken. He came back and he's talking about, MLB. Matter of fact, didn't MLB just release, is it today or yesterday? It was yesterday. It was 4/20. It was yesterday. So, yeah, shout out to them. And it's crazy that the game, they said this hasn't happened for years, that the game is ranking lower than it normally does. I wonder why that is. Well, there's some Sony ponies that were a little upset about this and said, you know what, we're going to just review bomb the heck out of it. Actually, no, I take that back. Sony fans, I take that back, brothers. Because this was actually the, not the user score, but the regular reviewer score. So, we'll see. The only positive thing about it is, I guess, you didn't, oh man. On Xbox, you didn't have to pay full price. God, dog, you got to play it for $1. $1. But let's go ahead, man. Come on, let's get into your email here. One subset Tekken. Now, the title of this email is called MLB Dictates the Show. Ooh, I like the play on words there, brother. Okay. He says, hello, Kiaun. How are you, brother? I'm still here, man. I'm still doing what we do. He says, hope all is well with you, man. I'm here, brother. I'm doing just fine. He says, so with it, man, I think I established that in your first email, but we going to keep on going. He says, so with spring comes baseball. And now Xbox has a baseball game. Yeah, baseball game. The show, my family moved to Queens when I was 9 from Brooklyn. So, shucks. Oh, man. Okay. He says, so I was indoctrinated with Mets baseball, but not a fan of the game for me. No, he said, but not a fan of the game for me. It's like, for me, like soccer. For me, like soccer. Hey, brother. Hey, man, I'm butchering this. I'm going to fast forward a little bit, though, one subset. He says, it's good that Xbox now has a baseball game day one through Game Pass. To all of those people who've been yearning for a game like this is your game. The last baseball game I played on any console was Triple Play 99 for the original PlayStation. God, dog. Hey, brother, let me tell you something, one subset. I don't think I've done much better, man. I'm thinking about it in my mental Rolodex. In the last baseball game I might have played was probably World Series Baseball back on the Sega Genesis. So yeah, brother, it's been no. I gotta take that back. I take that back. The last baseball game I played, because I have it downstairs, it was Major League. It was 2K. It was the 2K baseball game. Whichever one Derek Jeter was on the front cover of, that was the last one I played. And I loved it. I thought it was a good game. But let me continue with your email, brother. Triple Play 99, brother. You took me back in a time machine. Now, he says, however, for Xbox, this is just the beginning of games coming to all of those people who said Xbox does not have any games or Game Pass is void of any AAA. This is just a little sprinkle for the fountain that's about to come. I gotta agree with that. I mean, it was for quite some time. One sub, man, I'm all tongue tied. Ha! Let me get it together. It was for quite a while. One sub said, Tekken, that people did say that games and Game Pass were just fodder, that they would never be able to get the big games day and date in their service. And this weekend on Sunday, we're going to talk about Sony and what they have done to make sure that does not happen with a specific game that we're going to talk about this weekend. And because of that, it shows that Game Pass is definitely we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it, brother, this Sunday. But where did I leave off? Oh yeah, he said with Sony backing up on some of their AAA games, Game Pass is more than justified value. People still might have their own opinions about Game Pass. In my opinion, Game Pass is about to change how we game. How we game. Xbox or Microsoft has changed. Man, wait a minute, brother. Once again, reading is fundamental. Let me try to get this together. He says, in my opinion, Game Pass is about to change how we game on Xbox. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I have to agree. Right now, Microsoft is really, man, Game Pass could really be a game changer. I mean, it's amazing how far the service has come in such a short period of time. And then when you double that, because I do want to talk about this just real quick. One sub. Why do I keep saying you sub twice, brother? One subset. Good grief. I do want to say this, brother, that today over at GameStop, they got some Xboxes in, but it was under the program, what is that program? The Xbox program, you pay for it monthly, and the monthly installments, they got a couple of those in, so they are making it very easy. The all access program, they're making it very easy to get people into the ecosystem who don't have $500, who don't have $300, and they're doing it by having you pay for it monthly, interest free, from what I've heard, and you just have to also pay for Game Pass. It's all included in the service. So they're using that to spearhead Game Pass and get people used to it. And then on top of them getting these deals, these big deals, two of them almost like 2 weeks apart, Outriders and MLB The Show, into that service day and date. Yeah, Game Pass is definitely on a path to definitely change how people game on the Xbox brand, even when it comes to the xCloud, the cloud gaming service that they have as well. They're making it easy for people to access the games that way too. So, I mean, I'm not a fan of that per se. I mean, I'm not going to change my stance on that and get different with y'all. But at the same time, I understand that they're just trying to make the ecosystem more accessible, and that's how they're choosing to do it. I get it. Long as it doesn't take the place of the console, long as the console is still relevant and priority number one, Microsoft, then, that's cool. I can understand. But let me finish up your email here, brother. He says, Microsoft has changed the rules when competing against Sony, in my opinion. Game Pass is about to change how we game. This has changed the rules when competing against Sony. So to all the Sony fanboys, just hold on tight. Well, that's all for me. As always, wash your face, hands, and butt. And please wear a mask. That's his tagline. That's what I meant to say. One subset in the last one. Yeah, brother, I'm telling you, this Sunday is Sony, man. Good grief. I'm telling you, y'all might already know the story, but I don't want to get into too much gaming news because this is you guys' show, the listeners' show. And you guys really, really showed up this week, and I don't want to go down that path too much, but definitely stay tuned until Sunday, because to your point, one subset tech, and I am so off on this episode, but to your point, yeah, Game Pass is definitely not a flash in the pan. If they can continue to do what they've been doing, Game Pass is definitely a threat. So we're going to get into that a little later. But one subset, thank you so much for bearing with me and my bad reading and all of that good stuff. Please write back in again next week. It's always fantastic to hear from you, my brother. And really, 2 great emails this week. I really, really appreciated those, brother. And hopefully you'll be able to do it again next week. We're going to go ahead and move into the next email, which is coming from Free Fly. Ferret Fly, brother, fly, man. Now, the title of his email is Out for a Long Ride. He says, my brother, that's his tagline right there, man. I love reading it. He says, I had no desire to play Outriders. I had seen the trailer, screenshots, and box art. None of it pulled me in, hyped me up, or told me that this was a game I had to play. Enter Game Pass. Oh, man. He says, who walked in and said, give it a try. It's free. And 30 minutes later, I was all the way down the rabbit hole. Couple of weeks later, and I've completed the story, all the side quests, and just have 3 little achievements to go. Golly. Oh, this joker really, really pulled you in. I mean, all the way in. Golly, man, that's awesome. And that's the power of Game Pass. Now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, brothers. I ain't gonna sit up here and act like, oh, man, I have Game Pass on the Xbox upstairs. I don't have it. I don't. But I can recognize that it's a great service. I don't have it, and I doubt that I'll ever get, well, never say never. Never say never. But as it stands right now, I don't have it. And I just don't see myself getting it in the future. But when those Bethesda games start coming out, or if they get a big AAA in their day and date that really speaks to me, oh, brothers, I don't know. That might be the time. But let me get back to your email, Free Fly Ferret. He says, the game is awesome. Story was unexpectedly great. And I'm hyped to see what they have coming in the future. I'm going to tell you, those guys over there at People Can Fly, man, Bulletstorm, golly, I've been talking about that game for years upon years upon years. And it triggered it in me when you said that the story was unexpectedly great, and I'm hyped to see what they have coming in the future, because I'm hoping that in the future, brother, it's a Bulletstorm 2. I reached out to the developers, man. I told them, I said, please, can you make a Bulletstorm 2? Joker just looked, in the message, and I don't know him on a face-by-face or personal basis, but they were doing some promotion for Outriders, one of the, I believe, the animators over there that work on the game. Well, that worked on the game. And I said, man, he was like, more to come. And I'm like, good grief. It looks like you guys got enough people over there to make a sequel to Bulletstorm. And I sent the smiley face at the end of it. And all he did was sent the smiley face and ain't say nothing back. I said, golly, I guess that was his way of letting me down easy. Good grief. But yeah, I would love to see it, man. He says let me continue with your email. He says, this, my friend, is the beauty of Game Pass. Yes, it is. Again, bringing you in, having a game there that you're not interested in, and all of a sudden, you are a great example, brother, of, I guess, what Phil Spencer was talking about. And you guys know I haven't agreed with Phil Spencer all the way. I have not. But lately, man, Phil been doing all right, man. He been doing pretty doggone good lately. So I can't say too much bad about Phil right now, but he said that he wanted Game Pass to be that service where you can find your next favorite game. And, to that point, Free Fly Ferret, it seems like you found, a favorite game, at least even if it's for the moment. It's been a game that you've enjoyed so much that you only have 3 achievements to go before you get the whole 1,000 gamer score off of the game. So that is incredible, man. He says, continuing with your email, brother, he said, keep up the good work and stay safe on them trucking streets, man. Let me tell you, I gotta be out of here at midnight tonight, and I'm recording this at what time? Oh, man, it's almost 9 o'clock. Oh, pray for me. I'm going up to Buffalo, New York on this one. He says, thanks again for what you did for my daughter and I. Oh, man, don't even worry about that, brother. It was absolutely my pleasure, Free Fly Ferret. Let me tell you, I really appreciated what you guys did for me and my family. That really, really meant so much to me. Hey, man, it touched my heartbone, brother. It truly did. You and Alice, shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. Your family is amazing too, brother. And I just really appreciated, that very, very kind gesture that you did, man. But once again, I'm very, very glad to see that, hey, you've been enjoying the game, and maybe more people will take doggone People Can Fly seriously. These are some really good, talented guys over there. Yeah, Gears of War, what was it? Judgment. Oh man, that wasn't the best. It could have been better, but it was a misstep. But Bulletstorm had a great story. I was shocked. Like when you said, with Outriders, Free Fly Ferret, how you actually shocked that the story was, pretty good. That was the same thing for Bulletstorm. I wasn't expecting much, but I was like, good grief. The characters were pretty good. I really enjoyed it. But Free Fly Ferret, man, let me wrap up your email, brother. I'm gonna keep on blabbering, man. But thank you so much, man. It's fantastic to hear from you as well. I'm glad you were able to find the time to write in and keep on writing in, man. I mean, all of y'all, please continue to write in. It means so much to hear from y'all, man. Taking the time out of your day to write into, to the show, write into me so I can read it. It means a lot, man. So thank you again, Free Fly Ferret, for this, brother, for your email. Now, moving on into the next one, we have up next, Crimson Phoenix. This brother's been writing in a lot lately, so shout out to you. Oh, looks like this one is kind of lengthy. Oh, man. Now, the title of this one is Funny You Should Ask. All right. He says, hello, my friend. Hope all is well. Hey, man, I am here with y'all, and I'm having a ball, my good brother. He says, so to answer your question... Excuse me, brother. He says, so to answer your question, I'll continue to buy my games digital, which also means new. Oh, this was the question I was asking you guys. Do you guys buy new or used games? He says, that being said, it's funny you asked, as it turns out Sony wants everyone to get everything for free. They are fueling the hacking community and homebrew software market due to the CMOS/C-bomb rendering the PS3, PS4, and recently confirmed PS5 useless. Yeah, I heard about this, brother. I think it's the watch. It's like a battery. Well, let me finish reading your email here. He says, yeah, useless for playing your old games, physical or digital. Yeah, I said physical. Look it up. It's nicknamed the C-Bomb. There is a lot to unpack here, but please look it up. Protect your investments, my fellow friends. Let Sony know this is wrong, and you won't stand for it. It can be remedied 2 ways. start a backwards compatibility program like Xbox Pro Consumer, like where if you bought a game, no matter if it's physical or digital, it just works. At least then it's playable if you have the new console. Heck, Xbox, I had to sub, brother. Xbox is even giving free upgrades to those older games. Sheesh! The other way is to send out updates to the affected consoles, fixing the end of life CMOS issues. I'm sorry for the time being, Microsoft is just being so pro-consumer, and Sony needs to get their heads out of the clouds before they end up disappointing even the most loyal of their customers. Yeah, I gotta say, man, this CMOS situation is interesting, man. I remembered reading about it with the 3 and the 4, but I was definitely shocked when they said it was also the same thing with the PlayStation 5. And they say the battery, yeah, they last a long time. I get it, but it still doesn't future-proof. Like you said, Crimson Phoenix, it is not future-proofing your investment. And if you have a lot of games and you can't access those, that is a major, major problem. Because if you spent hundreds upon hundreds of dollars, and like you said, Crimson Phoenix, you buy your games digital. You said you'll continue to buy your games digital, which means new, most definitely. Then if you were to invest so much money into that digital library and it is no longer playable because of this CMOS situation, this battery, yeah, that is a horrible look. And Sony definitely needs to take a couple of pages out of Microsoft's book when it comes to, preserving those games. Because you're right, at the end of the day, this has nothing to do with being a fan of a certain brand or anything like that. This is about a person literally spending their hard-earned money to possibly see it figuratively, blow up in smoke by not being able to access the games. And for people that try to make it like it's not a big deal, oh man, that doesn't really matter to me, I could care less. It's like, but golly, man, you don't want to make sure that you're able to, even if you don't care to the point where you're willing to see possibly hundreds, if not thousands of dollars just completely vanish, and you can't even get the benefit of the money that you spent from that investment. I would have to think that means something, So we'll definitely see what happens with this Crimson Phoenix. Hopefully, Sony definitely, as you put it, gets their heads out of the clouds and definitely does something to remedy this situation. But let me see. Oh, you wrote something else. You said, well, sorry, but I also have to mention I'll be on a hiatus for the summer months as it's the off season, and I'll be spending what little free time I have with the fam. Don't want to neglect, Oh, definitely, man. He says, so see you all in the winter and get your gaming on. He says, P.S. I'll still let you know when I've redeemed any codes. That's what's up, brother. That's what's up. He said, thank you. Nah, man, let me tell you, Crimson Phoenix, man, you riding out into the sunset this week, brother. I want to thank you, man, for writing in very, very consistently, man. It was like the most I've heard from you, so I thank you. Your emails, it's always great, when you writing your thoughts down. I truly, truly mean that, guys. It really keeps me going. It's fantastic to be able to hear from you guys and have a dialogue, with y'all. I mean, I understand that, y'all aren't like physically present, or we're talking voice to voice back and forth, but reading your thoughts off, man, and being able to respond to them, that means a lot to me, man. So I appreciate that. And Crimson Phoenix, I hope you enjoy your time with your family, your friends. And I definitely look forward to hearing from you when the winter months come up. You know, I'm sure, oh man, by the time the winter happens, it's going to be a ton of news by then that is going to drop. We're going to know what Microsoft has coming after Halo or before Halo. And yeah, it's going to be awesome, man. By that time, the Game Awards should be back up. So, man, when you're ready to jump back in, man, it's definitely going to be a lot to discuss. But once again, Crimson Phoenix, thank you for, being here every week, writing in. And like I said, man, once again, I hope you really enjoy your time off and really get that family time in. So thank you again so much. And we will definitely see you. I'm about to say next winter, but during the winter. Thank you again, my good brother. Now up next, we have, hold on. Wait. Oh, Don X. He said $25 PlayStation Store gift. Oh, he says, and you're new, man. Let me do this the right way, God dog it. Don X, welcome, brother. Welcome to the listener feedback. It's great to have you here. Like I said, this is the first time I'm seeing your name. So welcome, man. Round of applause for being here, man. Golly. But, so like I said, the title of your email is $25 PlayStation Store gift. He says, hello, Kiaun. What's going on, brother? He says, I wanted to inform you that finally! He says, all right, let me, man, I got excited, brother. Let me read this the right way. I got a little excited there, brother. He says, I wanted to inform you that I am the winner of your last gift card giveaway. $25 PlayStation Store gift card. Being that I am a new PlayStation 4 Pro owner, Series X is my primary console, I am looking forward to trying out some of the PlayStation's exclusive gems. Oh, they got a lot of them, brother. They got a lot. He says, I've only been listening to your podcast for a few months now after becoming familiar with you through your interactions with GTR podcast. Let me tell y'all something real quick. Don X, I'm going to tell you this, brother. Danny Pena is a dope dude, man. He really, really is. That's a brother right there. He is 10 toes down. 100%. I can confirm that. This brother wants everybody to win. He's not, he never displays any hate or, not wanting someone to reach their goals. That brother is always willing to help. And I just had to say that about Danny. He's a real stand-up dude, man. I really have a lot of respect for that brother, for sure. But that's amazing that you had discovered me, man, just calling in over there at GTR. That's dope, man. I mean, Danny is a dope guy, man. He really is, man. I definitely just called the show because I'm just a real fan of what those brothers do over there. But let me continue your email, man. I went, far left, golly. He says, you have now become one of my oh, man, brother, wow. He said, you have become one of my favorite, most anticipated weekly podcasts. Keep up the hard work and wish you all the best. Don X. Man, brother, oh, wow. That means a lot, man. That truly, truly means a ton. Especially, with GTR, man. Those brothers are, man, they beastly. Those guys are beastly over there. So just the fact, your kind words of saying that, you really enjoy the podcast and, enjoy listening. Man, Don X, brother, that means so much, man. I want to really, really thank you for that. Man, every time I get, very kind words, but I get all somber and whatnot. Let me get up the energy again. Good gosh. But, Don, enjoy that $25, man. Enjoy that. I hope you're able to find something that you absolutely enjoy. I know this Sony had a sale a week or so ago. I don't know if it's still on. I know $25 isn't going to go but so far, but hopefully it's able to pay for almost half of a specific game that you might have had your eye on and you didn't want to pay full price. I tell you guys, I love giving those away because in the words of Z over there at Broadband Bullies, which is another brother that I have a lot of respect for. I rock with those that rock with me, man. And when you guys show up and, are interacting with the show, downloading the show, it's just a small way of me just saying thank you guys for the support, man. I don't like doing raffles and, I get a certain amount of likes and all of that stuff and I give something away. Nah, that's not me. And I'm not knocking anybody that does that, but I would just rather just throw the code out there. Whoever gets it first gets it first. I think that's a fair way of doing it to me, in my mind. I could be wrong about that, but, I just think that, if you rock with me, then I absolutely rock with y'all. And, just a small way of giving back, man. But once again, Don X, thank you for the kind words, and thank you for writing in and letting me know that you got the gift card. That means a lot, man, because it was a long, man, let me tell you something, Don X, it was a long time when it was months that were going by, months, and nobody was saying anything. And I'm like, golly, are the people getting them? Are they not getting them? So it really puts a lot of stuff just to rest. Like, okay, somebody got it. I was able to shout them out there, the winner, and I can move on to the next, giveaway, man. So thank you again for that, Don. Really appreciate it. And I hope you continue to write in too, brother. I really, really do, man. It's great to have you here, man. It really is. And I'm being long-winded as usual. So Don X, thanks again, brother. And I look forward to hearing from you next week if you can write in, man. I know you guys are busy. So that's why it means even more when you write in, because you don't have to, but when you guys do, it truly does make my day, man. It does. But we're going to go ahead and get into the last one. Last but absolutely not least, this brother going to take us out into the sunset. We got up next Mr. Cody Clark. Oh, this is the OG right here. This guy been rocking with me for many, many years. So shout out to you, brother. Now, the title of his email is All Used Up. Oh, shucks. He says, I haven't been to a GameStop in years. The last physical disc I had was given to me by Goose. Shout out to Goose. 3 or 4 years ago. I am absolutely hampered by the no internet, no gaming problem. He says Xbox S Series, no disk drive, so no used games. Regardless, I will still stand by my decision. Shout out to you, Cody Clark, man. Thank you for writing in. Thank you. Guess this brother said, nah, I haven't done any of the used games in many, many years, this brother said. It seems like, brother, you are all in on the digital front, as it were. Where you said no disk drive, so no used games, regardless. I feel you, brother. Matter of fact, you got to tell me, though, just on a side note, Cody, just on a side, how are you enjoying the Series X? It's been like 2 weeks since you got it, brother. How have you continued to enjoy it? And is it the experience that you were hoping that you are going to get. Definitely let me know. But Cody is saying, man, used games have not been something I have rocked with for many, many years. So I dig that, brother. I hope, Cody, that you're able to write in again next week, because it's fantastic to hear from you. It truly, truly is. And this was one of your, man, I'm going to tell you, this was a short email from you, brother. This was, just bam, boom. It was just right to the point, So, hey, man, shout out to you, Cody. And, matter of fact, since you had the final one, the final email this week, taking us out into the sunset, I just want to once again, because we're about to get out of here, and thank you, Cody, again, brother. Been rocking out for a long time. Let me know how you've been enjoying the Series X. I'm repeating myself. Let me get on out of here. But before we leave, though, I want to shout you guys out. Shout out to One Subset Tekken. Shout out to Timothy Poole. Shout out to Free Fly Ferret. Crimson Phoenix. I'ma miss you, brother. Until the winter. Look forward to you getting back, bro. Shout out to Don X. And once again, shout out to Cody Clark. This was a full doggone episode. Here we are, almost an hour in. This is incredible, man. But look, I have been long-winded a lot during this episode, but it feels good, man, to have you guys write in. Listen, I'm not one of these guys that just try to be cool about it, man. Oh, yeah, shout out to y'all. Yeah, it was cool. You wrote in this, that, and the third. And yeah, nah, that's not me. I appreciate it, man. I do, because I understand that you really don't have to write in. And when you guys do, you take the time out. That means something to me. That's all I'm saying. So shout out to you good brothers. Hopefully y'all will have the time to write in again next week, and we can do it all over again, and also to listeners that haven't written in, it's always an invitation. The door is always open for you to be on the listener feedback, because it is you guys' episode. It's about y'all. And if you would like to write in for the first time, you can write in at the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. Or if you want to call the show and let your voice be heard for the very first time, you can do that by calling in at 443-216-9934. I was your host, Kiaun Mitchell. And once again, thank you guys for being here. We're going to wrap it up here, and I will definitely talk to you guys on Sunday, because Sony, you're playing slick. Sony is definitely, they out there trying to do some things. Man, oh man, Microsoft is putting the pressure on those guys. We're going to talk about it on Sunday, man. But that's it for this one. You guys have a good one. Go out there and play some games and enjoy yourself.